Hello everyone, I'm Ihsan. In this video, we'll unbox the Samsung Galaxy A02. If in the previous video we have unboxed the Samsung Galaxy A02s, this one is the Samsung Galaxy A02 or a series that is slightly below the A02s version. When compared to the previous A01 series, this version comes with a bigger battery and a wider screen, and comes with more memory or RAM capacity. The screen is also bigger than the previous A01 version. Here we get a pouch printed with a million font, just ₦1,000,000 letterings. This phone does come at a price of ₦1,000,000, even below the previous A02s series. There's also the lettering continuous update, thousands of selfies, enjoy watching together. Okay, now let's just unbox the Samsung Galaxy A02. And here it is, the Samsung Galaxy A02 smartphone. On the box at the top there is the Galaxy A02 lettering. And below there is the Samsung logo, on the right there is no print whatsoever. And on the left there is the Galaxy lettering, which is quite large. Here at the bottom there is the variant of this phone. This one comes in grey with 3GB of RAM and 32GB internal memory capacity. And it turns out that on the back it also comes with a SIM card bundle from the SIM card provider. Okay, now let's just open the box of the Samsung Galaxy A02. And here there are all the things inside the Samsung Galaxy A02 box. On this small box on the top we get 2 guidebooks or manuals. Then here we also get the serial number of the phone. Then we immediately get the phone in this box. On the back you can see a unique pattern that looks like the stars on the back of the case. And in the box we get a charger adapter for the Samsung Galaxy A02. The default charger adapter on the Samsung Galaxy A02 is 7.8 watts. And we also get a SIM card tray ejector, and then lastly we also get a USB Type-A to micro USB cable. And that's all of the things that we got inside the box of the Samsung Galaxy A02. Now let's put aside the entire contents of the box and see the looks of the Samsung Galaxy A02. First, let's open all the plastic so that it will look better and more visible on camera. And here is the design of the Samsung Galaxy A02 in this grey color. The back of the case has a texture, and there are also some little white and black spots on the case. On the back at the bottom there is the Samsung lettering and also the IMEI number of the smartphone. For the camera setup, on the back there is a 13MP main camera with f1.9 and a 2MP macro camera with f2.4. As for the material of the back case, it is made of polycarbonate material, and it is quite visible that the design is made of plastic if you look at the edges. At the edges there are visible joints like this, and for a phone at this price, of course, for this material it looks pretty standard. However, the presence of this texture slightly makes the design looks more attractive. This design makes it looks like we have put an additional case on the phone. But actually it's just an integrated back case of this phone. And besides that, the texture on the back make it more comfortable on hand. So if you use this phone, it looks like you can easily use it without adding any additional case. The weight of this phone is 206 grams, and with 5000 mAh battery on Samsung Galaxy A02, the weight feels quite decent when compared to A01 with a more compact design, which is only 149 grams, while the A02 weighs 206 grams. This is because the battery in the Samsung Galaxy A02 is already quite large when compared to the previous A01. The previous A01 had 3000 mAh battery, and this A02 was upgraded to 5000 mAh battery. Then the screen was also upgraded to be wider in this A02. For a better view of the display, let's just turn on the phone. Let's set up the phone and see the initial appearance of this phone. And here is the initial view of the Samsung Galaxy A02. The Samsung Galaxy A02 is the cheapest Samsung series at ₦1.5 million for the official price tag. This phone is the cheapest Samsung series to be presented in 2021. For the previous series, there is also A02s, which is slightly above the A02, which is at ₦1.7 million for the official price. The software used on the Samsung Galaxy A02 is Android 10 version with One UI Core 2.5. Looking at the design and features of the Samsung Galaxy A02, we can directly compare it with A02s series, which is slightly above it. The thickness of the bezels on A02 and A02s also looks quite the same. For its weight, the A02 is slightly heavier than A02s, however the difference is quite thin, only 10 grams. For the screen, both use PLS IPS with 6.5 inches. And the resolution is also the same, 720 by 1600 pixels with a ratio 20 by 9. The A02s use Snapdragon 450 50nm, while the A02 which we unboxed in this video use MediaTek with 28nm. For the A02 variant, it is only available for 2GB of RAM and 32GB internal memory. While the A02s has two variants, there is 3GB of RAM and 32GB internal memory, and there is another variant with 4GB of RAM and 64GB internal memory. For the front camera, both use 5MP camera on A02 and A02s. Uniquely, the Bluetooth used in A02 version is higher, namely Bluetooth 5.1, while A02s use the previous version of Bluetooth, which is version 4.2. For the battery is similar, 5000 mAh battery, it's just that A02s already support fast charging, while the A02 doesn't support fast charging, and it still use micro USB. For the A02s series already using USB Type-C and the A02 still using micro USB. Then the camera specification in A02 and A02s series looks quite the same, and there are only slight differences. In addition of depth sensor lens in A02s series, the camera design also looks quite different between A02s and A02. For the A02 series, it looks quite simple and looks just like on the previous series, while in the A02s series, it looks a little more contemporary, and the camera design doesn't really look like 1 million rupiah phones. As for the camera design in A02, it's quite common like what we saw in previous year's phone, with a dual camera design like this. However, the camera specification on A02 and A02s is quite the same, and there are only slight differences, like there is only additional depth sensor lens in A02s series. And the back case design also looks a little more premium in A02s series if you compare it to A02. The port and speaker position also looks quite the same on A02s and A02. At the bottom there are speakers, a charger port and a microphone and a 3.5mm audio jack. The speaker on this phone is at the bottom along with the charger port, microphone hole and 3.5mm audio jack. The power button is on the right with the volume buttons. The card slot on this phone is complete. There is a place for dual nano SIM and there is also a place for a dedicated micro SD card slot. For the front camera lens, it uses 5MP lens with f2.0. The following are the sample photos of the Samsung Galaxy A02. If you like this kind of video, don't forget to like and also subscribe to get notification when there is a new video from this channel. If you have any questions, you can write them directly in the comment section or in Telegram channel or directly DM us to our Instagram account @Santertainment. I hope you get some value out of this video. See you on the next one.